creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream, the Addams Family.
Neat. Sweet. Petite.
So get a witch's shawl on, a broomstick you can crawl on. We're gonna pay a call on the Addams Family.
Good morning, Newton. I'm Diego Perez.
And I'm Anasha Kaskar. Welcome to our first update of the season.
Speaking of first, the theater department has been busy brewing up the first play of the school year, which is set to open on Halloween night.
That's right, with just 6 weeks to produce, Arthur Miller's The Crucible, cast and crew have been working overtime. Reporter Micah shed some light on the magic of conjuring up this classic play.
It's the beginning of fall and the theatering season. Newton North's production of The Crucible is just a few days away, and director and English teacher Valerie Young has been working hard with her cast to create an impactful play under short time constraints.
These kids have just been spectacular from the get-go. I feel like something happened right away at the first read-through, and they were all committed, and they all help each other.
The play, which centers around the tragic events of the Salem witch trials, was hand-selected by Miss Young. Rehearsals for the show began in the third week of September, leaving the cast with only 6 weeks of preparation compared to the 9 that a fall play typically gets.
Yeah, rerun it, okay? But we do have to move through this.
Due to the short nature of the show, senior Orlando Christian has found that the structure of rehearsals is essential to embodying his character, John Proctor.
Rehearsals are very blocked out and intentional. It just gets us always in that mindset of where we are in the world and what we're doing. And so we get a lot of stuff done in a day, which is really good.
Miss Young and her cast are not the only ones who have put in a heavy effort for this show. Sonny Pamonti, the wig's hair and makeup designer, has played a key role in blending Miss Young's vision with his own.
I feel like we had a lot of freedom with the show. We did have to keep it within when the play takes place, but there is this idea of it being timely ambiguous because of the overall message of the show.
The cast and crew have been tasked with the responsibility of connecting the Crucible's themes to today's events. With the play falling right before the election, the divides represented on stage are all too relevant to modern politics.
I don't think that there's ever been a time where this play hasn't been relevant. And if we consider the political landscape right now, you can point to so many things in the script that have a scary cultural reference, calling out book banning, immigration, people being different, people not practicing Christianity, women having to answer to men to make decisions about themselves. I hope that people will see our current world reflected up here and think about their responsibility to vote, to participate in any kind of civic engagement, and to just sort of pay attention to what's happening currently so that we don't go backwards.
For the update, this is Maya Maycumber.
Thanks, Maya. Themes of the Crucible are still relevant today, especially with the upcoming election.
And those of you who are 18 will have the opportunity to make your voices heard at the polls. What you may not know is that there are questions on this year's ballot that will have a direct impact on students.
One issue up for vote this year is the possible elimination of the MCAS requirement for graduation. Our very own Anasha Kaskar took to Main Street to see how Newton students are civically involved.
With the election next week, we wanted to ask our student body about their registration status and their awareness about questions on the ballot.
I am pre-registered to vote.
I feel like if I knew how to do it, I would do it.
I voted. There was 6 parties for president, and the 2 that most people know about are Republican and Democrat, and making sure people know everything about each question and who they're voting for, understanding more the policies, I think is very important.
We wanted to interview Miss Codd, a history and civics teacher at our school and an expert on youth voting.
Youth voting is generally looked at the block between 18 and 29, and they are traditionally they vote at the lowest percentage of any age group. And the second thing is it impact not only the presidential election, but all kinds of local, state, and other federal positions.
More people like towards our age range, I'm 16 personally, are being more opinionated on how our civics worked.
A lot of states have made it much harder to vote. So if you can't vote, offer to accompany your parents to the poll, offer to make dinner so they can make it to the poll, contact friends who are eligible to vote, especially if they're new voters, and ask them. You don't have to ask them who they're voting for, ask them what their plan is for Election Day.
Yes, I think the youth can shape the ballot because we are the future.
For the update, this is Anasha Kaskar.
One of the biggest concerns on Election Day is always the economy, which usually sees a major boost around the holidays.
Reporter Neria dug into the economic impact of the Halloween season and found it's more than just ghosts and ghouls. It's a big business.
Ever wonder how far people will go to create the perfect haunted house? These days, Halloween decorating is an art form, with homeowners spending big to turn their spaces into jaw-dropping displays of spooky creativity. From towering skeletons to glowing pumpkins, people are spending serious cash to make their houses the highlight of the neighborhood. But it's not all tricks. This decorating frenzy also is a treat for the local economy. But before we get into that, let's take a look at just how much homeowners are willing to invest to snag the crown for best decorated house.
We usually get several hundred kids, so we spend like $200 to $300 just on like massive bags of candy.
Newton North Jr. Peckham Cornelius gives us a glimpse into their family's unique approach to this season's festive decorations, sharing how they've turned it into a personal art form and gained a reputation for their creative touches.
There was one year where we made a foam fire pit with skulls burning inside of it.
For others, Halloween decorating comes with much higher stakes. Transforming their homes into haunted masterpieces is a matter of pride, pushing them to go all out with extravagant displays. Audrey Wellstead, a student at Newton North, explains how her family drains the competition.
We always put up spider webs, we always do the skeleton, and then we always do something like this.
Some choose to keep it simple, while others go all out with store-bought animatronics and custom designs. The financial commitment to these displays can be significant. Max Wolf, a public policy manager with the Charles River Chamber of Commerce, speaks on the statistics of Halloween spending.
Community like Newton is pretty affluent. There's a lot of money spent on decorations and a lot of competition in between houses to, get the best decorations. So you will see that specific demographic sometimes splurge a lot on Halloween decorations.
But it's not just households battling for eerie supremacy. Retailers are also feeling the excitement of Halloween. James Brown, a Party City manager in Brighton, shares how Halloween drives sales and brings families back for more.
There's an initial spike in the beginning for decor, and then there's a gigantic spike at the end for Halloween costumes. In total, is roughly a quarter of our sales for the year, and decor is probably 4 times the amount, maybe 5 times the amount as candy.
As Halloween night approaches, there's a clear pattern of early spending on decor and a surge in costumes and candy sales as the big night draws closer. This trend shows no signs of slowing down.
It's Halloween. That's the whole point of the holiday, is just being spooky and being fun and having fun being spooky.
From the update, this is Neria Abimut.
Thanks, Neria. One reason not to fill on too much candy is due to the opening of the loft.
That's right, and for the first time in 40 years, they've opened without recently retired chef Lisa McKinney.
Reporter Micah Klein takes us into the kitchen to meet the new chef and find out what's cooking with Culinary.
Welcome to the Loft. A place dedicated to mastering skills in the culinary arts and a student favorite spot for hanging out and getting food. Running a full restaurant is no simple task. It takes a large team of dedicated students and teachers to supply this unique experience here at North. Getting the Loft operating is a tremendous undertaking each September.
So we come in and there's absolutely nothing in the kitchen because we have to clean it and put in the storage room. So we spend the first few weeks assembling the kitchen and everything.
The opening of the Loft this year brought changes with the retirement of chef Lisa McKinney, who ran the bake shop and was a staple of the program for over 40 years.
We all love McKinney, so it was really hard to see her go.
Rising to the challenge of replacing Chef McKinney is Chef Chris DeRocher, coming with decades of experience in the food industry and teaching and a desire to improve.
I have learned so much since I started here, from my colleagues, from the students. They've helped me so much, so it's been a great experience.
Chef DeRocher is doing an amazing job, and I really like how he's handling it so far. He's coming in with authority right off the bat, and he knows what he's doing, so I have nothing but respect for him.
Returning for her 7th year is Chef Alexis Lugbauer.
My role is the savory side. So I make all of the kind of savory foods for lunch. I run the menus with the students and help them finish projects and stuff.
And ordering up her 27th year is Miss Marzilli, the teaching assistant, who manages the front of house where culinary students run the cash registers and serve food. Miss Marzilli reflected on students hungry for the loft to open.
You know, I'd go to out in the hallway, when are we opening, when are we opening? So it was good. We had a soft opening for breakfast, and it went absolutely superb.
The loft provides students an alternative place to get food and eat lunch.
Best part about the loft is just like having a more quiet space in the cafeteria to eat food, and the food is always really good. It definitely beats Noonville. It's cheaper too.
For those in the culinary program, it's a rewarding experience.
Just seeing the smiles on people's faces, students when they're working and learning, and then seeing them see the customers enjoy the food that they've prepared.
Students can now chow down with the loft up and running for the year.
It's very welcoming. Not a lot of kitchens are like that, but 3 fantastic teachers just really open your eyes to what culinary truly can be.
For The Update, this is Micah Klein.
I'm looking forward to seeing what new flavors Chef DeRocher will bring to the loft.
Personally, I'm excited for some delicious Halloween candy.
Let's see what faculty and students are scaring up this week.
Today we wanted to ask the Newton North community what their Halloween plans are.
Well, probably the same as usual. We do a lot of entertaining for the neighborhood.
This Halloween I'm probably gonna eat a bunch of candy and watch some horror movies with friends.
We'll hopefully give lots of candy out to children and see all the students dressed up.
I'll probably go trick-or-treating.
Hanging out with friends.
Me and my siblings are going to a block party.
We put out several replica pumpkins, all carved for different occasions with different characters on there. There's almost 100 of them, all individually lit up.
Probably I'll be hanging out with friends. Maybe later in the day I might watch a movie with family.
I am probably going to see The Crucible.
So what's your costume?
Same as ever, a henchman. Yeah. And they never know if the axe is real or not.
We're so excited for these Halloween plans here at North. And for the update, this is Anasha Kaskar.
Whether you're dressing up, watching the Crucible, or just enjoying the spooky vibes, there's no shortage of fun this season.
That's all for this episode, but if you have any of your own stories to share, DM us on Instagram at Newton North TV. We're looking forward to hearing from you. We hope you all have a safe and spooky time.
Happy Halloween!